Welcome to another episode of my wrenching diaries. So today we have a 2013 BMW 160i. This boy decided to light up the BMW Christmas tree. You know what I'm talking about, which light it is. So I have my fortune teller 3000. So let's plug this in, check what this BMW trying to tell us. LBD2, read codes, BMW. Okay, P13C9. This thing directly related to exhaust VANOS system. Exhaust control fault, camshaft stock. Potential causes can be low oil pressure, defective wiring harness to the VANOS solenoid, seized VANOS solenoid, or a defective VANOS solenoid. Any of these issues can put the car into limp home mode, which is our car is on now. Let me explain what is BMW's VANOS system in a nutshell. So most of the internal combustion engines nowadays uses a 4-stroke system to make power. Suck, squeeze, bang, blow. Intake valve opens when the piston goes down of the cylinder to let the air-fuel mixture into the engine. Squeeze. When the piston comes back up, both valve closes and compresses the hell out of that air-fuel mixture. Bang, aka power stroke. As soon as the piston starts to go down, the spark plug ignites the air-fuel mixture, sending the piston to the bottom of the stroke, making usable power. Blow. Finally, the exhaust valves open to let the burned exhaust gases out of the engine when the pistons comes up. So it's again and again to get you point A to point B, all round and around. The camshafts are in charge of opening and closing these valves to continue this cycle smoothly. This is totally fine under low RPMs, but when you try to floor it,
Okay, floor it! No!
In high RPMs, the valves can open or shut way early, suffocating the engine. This can lead to loss of power and torque. To overcome this issue, Germans came up with a VANOS system for their engines. This is basically German VTEC, or VVTI in Toyota land. When you put your foot down, the ECU receives a signal demanding power. Then the ECU checks the cam angle sensor and the gazillion sensors that cars uses these days and activates the VANOS solenoid to send the oil pressure to the VANOS unit in front of each camshaft. The VANOS piston in this unit uses that oil pressure to rotate the camshaft in few degrees to advance the timing. This leads to better top-end torque and power out of the engine. When this VANOS solenoid or any other component fails on the VANOS system, the ECU triggers an error code and put the car into limp home mode. So this is a really common issue with these F20 engines, which the BMW 1 Series uses. The same engine comes in Mini Coopers as well. So let's run to the BMW real quick and check if we can get a VANOS solenoid for this bad boy. So 2 days later, I got the VANOS solenoid from BMW directly, and this is the part number if you want to order it. So the exhaust VANOS solenoid lives way under there, so you have to get the intake and the wastegate actuator out, followed by the world's largest airbox. So first things first, let's disconnect the battery and let the stripping games begin. There are 2 band clamps holding the intake pipe, mass airflow sensor, hood latch cable, and out comes the airbox. Now there is plenty of space to work under there. Some handiwork of the previous mechanic. Man, this intake pipe's seen better days. It literally disintegrated in my hand when I tried to take it out. So I had to put an order for a brand new one. So you can see over here it's pretty much breaking apart. This is the vacuum line that goes to the wastegate actuator. Next I had to take this cover out for the connector to the VANOS solenoid. So my original plan was to take this heat shield out so I can remove the wastegate actuator to get easy access to the VANOS solenoid, but I had to scratch that idea because I didn't have the tool to remove that oxygen sensor. So I had to improvise. All I did is loosen everything around the VANOS solenoid, starting with this bracket that holds the turbo wastegate actuator, followed by the actuator itself. Okay. Then I could get just enough space to undo this cover to the VANOS solenoid connector. I just had to struggle on it a little bit until the sun goes down to get this out. A brilliant German engineering. There you go. 10 hours later, it's out. So the next day I took the connector out. Also the tab to this connector is conveniently oriented to the other side of the engine. And this is the fastener that you had to take out to remove the VANOS solenoid. This is a T30 bit. I have to use a swivel socket to get to this bolt. Otherwise there's no way you're getting a wrench under there. It's too tight. So there you go, there's the bolt. And let's yank this solenoid out. It's really in there. You had to use a plier or something to get it out. Yeah, there you go. This is the old one. And this is the new one. Let's skip this thing in. A little cleanup before we put the new part in. A bunch of oil came out and I took the old one out. Coffee break. Now is a good time to hit that subscribe button. It's right there, just click it. Let's put some oil on the O-ring so it can go smoothly. There you go, and you hear that nice click. That means it's seated properly. Let's get the ball back in and torque this to German spec, which is good and tight. There you go, should be enough. Be very careful not to strip this one, otherwise you'll be in a world of pain. The connector goes back on, followed by the cover. Taking out this little cover is the hardest thing of this whole freaking job. There you go, all done. Let's put everything back together in reverse order, starting with the wastegate actuator and the bracket. Next step, all the bolts to the turbo heat shield. Nice and secure. Okay, this is where I got into a little pickle and I tried to put the intake pipe on. A part of the old intake pipe was already on the turbo housing. This used to be a rubber piece, really easy to come off, but this thing hardened rock solid like plastic. I had to cut it out really carefully, making sure not to damage the turbo housing. I had zero luck with the box cutter, so I whipped out my mini rotary cutting wheel, attached it to the drill. There you go, the piece is out and there's no harm done to the turbo housing. This is the old part along with the new one. Should be like this, not rock solid like this. Okay, let's clean this up and let's put everything back together. Okay, now the intake pipe goes really smooth. So I already connected the vacuum line, the PCV lines. Had to do something about this connector there. There's another hose coming underneath over here, connected that too. So I fixed the boost control valve connector with some red electrical tape and a zip tie, which gave me like 10 plus horsepower. I think it's looked better than the OEM connectors. Okay, let's grab the world's largest airbox and install it to finish the job. Okay, we are on the home run now. Putting back the weather stripping back on and grab the over-engineered beauty car, which has some kind of PCV system or a vacuum system built into it. This connects to this vacuum hose and this one connects to this one. Okay, there you go, all buttoned up, nice and neat. And let's check the oil from our broken dipstick. Oil looks a bit burnt, it's okay. Why do you have to make it in plastic, BMW? Just make it in steel like everybody else. Okay, next up, clearing the codes and connect our OBD2 reader. Turn the ignition on. OBD2, erase codes. Done. So everything is buttoned up. We just have to start the car. I already cleared all the codes. Let's see if the engine light comes back again. And this little BMW will think it's still Christmas. Hopefully not. Okay, foot on the brake. Fire in the hole. Alright, so check engine's gone. Yeah, beautiful. And let's bring it to working temperature and give her some beans. So I think it's been fixed. Let's go for a test drive and see how she drives. So this car belongs to one of my cousins. I'm basically test driving it to his place, which has good 20 kilometers from my place. If the check engine light decide to come back on, it should come back on in this drive. It definitely gained some power after this online job. So I almost drove to the halfway point of my journey. So far so good, no check engine lights, no troubles, the car drives smoothly and plenty of power. And that sums up this chapter of my automotive journey. Thank you so much if you stuck this far. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you like this episode, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. And until I see you in the next chapter of my wrenching diaries, happy wrenching.